Aye, is my offer thus construed? What I propose I do not lightly dare. Will I abide, I live in servitude, and whether yours or whose, why should I care? I'll wait on you tonight when you partake of college gaudy, where the doctors die. Only, since life or, let's say, death's at stake, I'll bring you, please, a couple of lines to sign. So black and white you want. You've never heard, good pedant, that a man may keep his word. Not enough. A word that I have spoken threads all my days, ever to remind me, by changing floods, the world itself is broken. Yet to reinvent a little pledge to bind me. Yet the rule or dream must be maintained in hearts that cherish honor's edifice. Happy the man who keeps his faith unstained. No sacrifice will come to him amiss. A parchment, notwithstanding side and shield, is bogey fit to make the bravest yield. The word expires in passing to the pen, and wax and sheepskin lord it over men. Then evil spirits say, what is your will? Is it parchment, brass, or marble does you favor? And shall I write with stylus, quill, or graver? See what a choice there offer, take your pick. No need to overheat your rhetoric, exaggerating items in your pride. When any scrap of paper is just as good for signature, we'll use a drop of blood. If this avails to make you satisfied, I'll join you in your little mummer's trick. Blood is a juice of quality most rare. Pray have no fear that I shall break this bond, since all my strength is in the thing I swear, and its pursuit shall be my only care. Too high have I aspired, so pleasing fond, when truthfully my rank's no more than yours. The mighty spirit spurn my weakness fair, and nature closed to me her sacred doors. My thread of thought is severed in despite. I sicken, long revolted of all learning. Then let us quench the pain of passions burning in the soft depth of sensual delight. Now let your muffled mysteries emerge, breed magic wonders naked to our glance. Now plunge we headlong in time's racing surge, swung on the sliding wave of circumstance. Bring now the fruits of pain of pleasure forth, sweet triumphs allure or disappointment's wrath. A man's dynamic needs this restless urge. Wealth shall be yours, beyond all fear or favor. Be pleased to take your pleasures on the wing. Voluptuous beauty taste in everything. May you flourish on the joys you savor. Fall to, I say, but plunge, and don't be coy. Have you not heard? I do not ask for joy. I take the way of turmoil's bitterest gain. Of lovesick hate, quickening, bought with pain my heart. From learning's tyranny set free, shall no more shun distress, but take its toll of all the hazards of humanity, and nourish mortal sadness in my soul. I'll sound the heights and depth that men can know, their very soul shall be with mine entwined. I'll load my bosom with their weal and woe, and share with them the shipwreck of mankind. Listen to me, who have through aeons flown, and chewed this barren food from year to year. No mortal from the cradle to the byre digest the bitter dough. A God alone can hold this sense of oneness in a blaze of lasting light. He sees the whole serene, but as he leads in a checkered darkened ways, where yours the broken days with night between. And yet I am resolved. Why then well stood? And yet one fear will hardly be denied. For time's short and art is long, I dread lest you should suffer from a double doubtful guide. Choose, sir, poet, for companionship, and let this gallant range the bounds of thought, and every noble branch of knowledge strip, that admirable qualities be brought to crown with glory your illustrious head. The lion heart, the swiftness of the fleeting hind, the fire lily, where passion set, the northerner's enduring mind of secrets that he teaches, first shall be to blend deceit with magnanimity, with the art of a passionate man. For now, according to plan, with such a one serve me, I'd soon install him, and Mr. Microcosmos I would call him. What then am I? Suppose a hostile star puts such a human crown beyond my reach, and mocks the bliss my senses so beseech. You are, when all is done, just what you are. Put on the most elaborate curly wig. Mount, learned stilts to make yourself look big. You still would be the creature that you are. I know, in vain I gathered human treasure, and all that mortal spirit could digest. I've come at last to recognize my measure, another sterile desert in my breast. I have not raised myself on toward the grave, nor stand I nearer to infinity. My worthy sir, you view affairs like other people, I'm afraid, but way more cunning in our cares. Must take our joys before they fade. White man, confounded, hands and feet and head and backs are all yours. And what we take while life is sweet is that to be declared not ours. 6 stallions say I can afford it, not their strength my property. I tell a lawn, the sporting lord, that their legs belong to me. Then up, let meditation be, and stride out in the world with me. I tell you what your groping theorist is, like a beast led round and round and round by evil spirits on a barren ground. Near to the verdant pastures he is missed. And say, how best begin? Away, sir, come. Why hug this learned martyrdom? We've more exciting plans to launch than leading students by the nose. Leave that to neighbor Dr. Ponch. Is threshing straw the penance you propose? The richest item of your knowledge. You cannot tell to lads in college and straight. I hear one there outside. No, my door is shut to him today. He's waited long to be denied. Poor lad, he can't go empty. Away, give me your cap and gown, sir, quick. I'll cut a gash in this array, and trust my wit to do the trick. A quarter of an hour is all I need, while you prepare to travel with all speed. For knowledge and fair reason you despise the highest powers by which poor mortals rise. The prince of lies it is that edifies you. Without a flash of magic he supplies you. Now is he mine without a saving cause. For fate has put a spirit in his breast that drives him madly on without a pause, and whose precipitate and rash behest, or leaps the joys of earth and unnatural laws. Him will I lead a pretty dance through ways of savage life bedraggled, to stiff and stifling acid and significance. To find the bargain over which he haggled, shall leave him dumbstruck, writhing, sticking fast, before his lips shall float a rich repast to mock insatiable appetite. In vain he'll cry for comfort in his plight, whether or not he owns the devil's might, his doom of ruin is secured at last. Arrived but lately, sir, I straight present myself a candidate to learn devoutly from one whose fame through all the land has run. I'm honored by esteem so well expressed, but sir, you see, one here like all the rest have you perhaps applied at other doors. I seek good counsel and I beg for yours. I come with strength of heart and courage, please, and well provided with professors' fees. My mother pleaded hard against my going, but now I hope for something worth the knowing. Well done, you're now on learning very trust. Yet I have half a mind, sir, to go back. The walled and close and gloomy college hall don't suit my mind or temperament at all. Here we have crowded, cramped for space, no trees or greenery in the place. I sit in halls of sapience, devoid of hearing, sight, or sense. It's just a matter of experience. A child perhaps denies the breast at first, yet soon delights to take straight its infant thirst, and thus each day will bring you greater zest to draw on wisdom's most beneficent breast.